one for OneWrestling.com. This is Bill Apter, and welcome to the Apter Chat. Today we go face-to-face all the way down to Florida, where the weather is beautiful, and they don't have to shovel out like I've had to the past few days, the past few weeks. Matt Morgan, the Blueprint. Welcome to the Apter Chat.
Hey, Bill, thanks for having me on. Long time no see, bud.
Yeah. We've traveled up and down the roads of the world together. We were in Italy together several years ago, which was a terrific tour there. And you had some very tough opponents there. And how many years ago was that? That
was right when I was released from WWE and in between TNA. So that's got to be end of 2005, 2006.
New Evolution Wrestling.
Yeah, NWE.
Roberto Indiano was the promoter.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. Yeah. But that was I always remember that was a good trip. Now, one of the reasons we're talking today, and want to get into some detail about this a little later on, is that on March 8th, you are booked in a very important match at the Resorts World Casino in New York, in Jamaica, Queens, the site of the old Aqueduct Raceway, for World Premier Wrestling, WPWWrestling.com, of course. And that night, you are going to be wrestling in a qualifying match for the Heavyweight Championship against someone you're familiar with, because he was also in TNA, Tony Nese.
Yeah, Tony Nese he has improved ridiculously. I had a chance to watch his improvement. Since TNA, I did a couple shows. You know, after I left wrestling, I did a couple shows with FWE, and Tony Nese was booked on the same shows, and he had some unbelievable performances. And talking to some of the boys around the locker room, they were just like, since he's left TNA, he's improved so much, like head and shoulders above anybody else's improvement this year on the indie scene. It's ridiculous how good he's gotten.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before one of the big two give him another opportunity, and he's on television, because if you're that talented, it eventually will work itself out, and you'll be back on TV. He's a hell of a talent. I look forward to.
Oh, he is. That German suplex he uses, and the missile drop kick. I mean, he is super talented.
But with all that said, you know what? Size don't lie, and all those moves are beautiful on a guy his size. Those are nothing that he's going to be able to do to me. So it's a shame that he got booked in a match versus me. So all his momentum will, come to a screeching halt that night.
Well, again, this is for a qualifying match for the WPW World Heavyweight Championship. So wishing both of you good luck there. Let's back up a little bit. How did you get the nickname, the Blueprint? I
was back in OVW, and
Ohio Valley Wrestling, for any of those fans who have been on another planet and don't know.
Yep, AAA. If you want to call it the AAA of WWE at the time, or the development territory.
Yeah.
Those that aren't aware, that's pretty much what Ohio Valley Wrestling was. And a longer story short, I was in the middle of the ring doing a promo. And all that entire, my first 6 months being there, people, from Cornette to other professionals with really high opinions, obviously, that people really respected on gauging upcoming talent, they were calling me the next big thing. Mm-hmm. And I remember being in a promo with Cornette in the ring and just saying, look, I'm not the next big anything. I'm the first walking, talking, living, breathing, running, jumping, athletic giant the sport's ever had. In fact, if God made the perfect giant, hell, you're looking at it. I am the blueprint of the perfect giant. And that kind of promo. And from that moment on, they just started calling me the Blueprint, and I should stick with it, that kind of thing.
What are your stats? What are your height and weight, Matt?
Right now, I'm 6'11", 308, but wrestling 6'11", 330 generally.
Would you have liked to have had the opportunity to go up against the legendary Andre the Giant when you talk about giants?
Hell yeah, that was my favorite wrestler for the longest time as a little kid. Absolutely.
So how would you have wrestled Andre the Giant? Your current size against Andre the Giant. What would that match have looked like against Andre in his prime?
My game plan would be to try to blow him up. I mean, easier said than done, because Andre dictated the pace of all his matches.
Yes,
so I know that going into it, you try to do whatever you have to do to unravel that. He was very, very smart as well. So that might be, again, easier said than done. But I think with speed, athleticism, and the fact that I really don't blow up in matches, no matter how long they are, I can go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those would be my best bets. But again, this is Andre.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was one of a kind. I would have loved to have seen that match. Who are some of the other real big guys that you've competed against?
Over the years, pretty much
Yeah.
every one of them except for Khali. I mean, a Big Show, Kane, never Undertaker either. Actually, he was either hurt or storyline hurt at the two times I was at WWE and called up. But who else? Pretty lots of stuff with Big Show at first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember some of those matches.
Kane came down to Ohio Valley Wrestling to work me as well to see where I was at in my development as a rookie, and that was awesome.
Yeah,
we had like
yes,
a minute
yes.
match.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go to TNA. Highlights of your career in TNA. Who were some of the people there who you liked wrestling against, and who took you to the limit?
No question, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, we did. It was probably my favorite storyline was when I was trying to get into the main event Mafia, and I had to go through each and every individual member of the main event Mafia.
Yes, I remember that.
And that was an 8-month storyline, 9-month storyline actually, and it was a really, really well done storyline arc, culminating with me versus Angle at Bound for Glory in the main event, and I had to go 25 minutes against Kurt Angle, and that was a situation where I lost 15 pounds because I knew that match was coming way ahead of time, and I knew he was going to push me to the limit and then some. You know, false finish for false finish, and I better sure as hell not blow up because there's a big opportunity for me to show myself. So that by far and away is my favorite storyline or opponent or anything like that.
Yeah. What about in WWE?
Good question.
That's why I asked it.
Well, my first time around, yeah, this is what you do.
Really?
My first time up, definitely the Team Lesnar storyline because I was around a bunch of veterans that were able to grab me by the hand and lead me. You know, whether it was Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle. Those were the opponents that I had to wrestle every single house show, as well as TV, pretty much. And then teaming with Brock and learning from him on how to work big, how to work toward my size, because I was still learning that at the time. Sure. Was very, very helpful. Very helpful.
So you have left the wrestling scene currently, and so the reason for you just not doing it at this point is other than you making your comeback at World Premier Wrestling. Tell us why you've took a sabbatical.
Well, because for 10 years, me and my wife were told we can't have kids, right? We were being told by 12 different professionals we have less than 1%. And both on her end and my end, there was no way we're having kids, basically. And so we went through the IVF route. We spent over hundreds of thousands of dollars on IVF to no avail. And then right about year 11, I would say, of trying. I mean, this is the longest time I think anybody tried to have kids. And,
could be a record.
So, anyways,
we'll check the books. But go ahead.
Year 11, we stopped kind of trying, and we're looking into adoption. We're about 3 weeks away from looking into adoption, and boom, turns out she was pregnant. So
wow,
it was amazing, serious miracle, right? So for the longest time, I've been wanting to be a father more than anything, more than being a wrestler, more than being anything.
Yeah.
Have a family, and more importantly, be a father. That's something I've always wanted. And I wasn't gonna, I don't want to say waste the opportunity or blow the opportunity because there are other fathers that are wrestlers. But I have other skill sets other than being a pro wrestler. You know, I graduated college magna cum laude, and I wanted to be home every single night for my kid.
Yeah.
You know, whether he's old enough to know I'm home or not, he knows. Every time I hold him, he knows. We make eye contact with his father. And
what's his name? What's his name, by the way?
And let me finish. I want that more than anything.
Yeah.
Whether he remembers it or not, it's irrelevant. I want to remember my moments with my son. And I don't want to be on the road 5 days a week missing any of that. I waited way too long to be a dad. And so my priorities are different, much different than others. And a longer story short, I was blessed with an opportunity and stepping in the right pile of you know what, and getting offered a job that financially would take care of us slightly better as well. So here I am. I'm going to get paid more money, and two, I'm going to be home every night.
Right.
What's to love about that deal? And his name is Jackson Morgan.
Okay. All right. That's great. That's great. I know the feeling because I'm a dad, so I know exactly what you're talking about. In terms of World Premier Wrestling and moving forward from there, are you open to still taking indie dates?
If it's on dates where it doesn't get in the way of my current job, I'm working medical device sales now.
Right. Okay.
As a regional manager, as long as it doesn't get in the way of that, absolutely. And I look forward to it because I heard nothing but great things about the promotion, the promoter,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
more importantly, the boys in the locker room in that place as well. And I have no problem. I'm obviously coming to this first show, and I plan on winning that tournament. I plan on becoming their champion, and so we'll make it happen one way or the other. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, again, this is a qualifying match. So what I'd like to do before we let you go here is you look right into the camera, and Tony Nese is looking right into the camera right now, watching you. Tell Tony Nese what's going to happen.
It's simple. Tony Nese, stop fronting. You feel those goosebumps. You feel those chills. You feel your feet shaking. You feel your knees getting a little knock-kneed and a little weak. They should be, because you're about to get in the ring, not with just a normal man, not just with the normal wrestler. You're about to get in the ring with a guy whose belly button you come up to height-wise, whose arms are bigger than your legs, whose experience absolutely positively supersedes yours. At the end of the day, you're in the ring with somebody who is not the mortal man. You're getting in the ring with a blueprint of this business. 7 foot, 308 pounds of the most genetically jacked, athletically stacked giant walking today. Good luck, son.
Tony Nese, you've got your work cut out for you. Matt Morgan, thank you. And again, it's World Premier Wrestling, March 8th at the Resort World Casino in Queens, New York. Go to WPW's website to check out for more information. It's right there under Matt Morgan. And Matt, thank you so much, and good luck with the family. It sounds wonderful.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. You've been a good friend. You've always been good to me. It's great seeing you again, man. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, and we'll see you, wrestling fans, at the matches.